Hey students, today we're going to talk about matrix and how do you solve system of equations by matrix. Okay, remember in the classroom we talked about how to put it in the calculator. Now we're going to talk about how do we set it up. So we use matrix when both equations are in standard form. Okay, let's remember that standard form is your AX plus BY equals C. In this class, matrix will always be a 2 by 3. Okay, it's going to have 2 rows by 3 columns. In matrices, you enter the coefficient in the calculator. Okay, remember your coefficient is the number in front of the variable. Okay, the coefficient is the number in front of the variable. All right, so now let's look at question number 1. Question number 1, we have 3x minus y equals 5 and 2x plus y equals 15. Now, for us to use matrices, you have to know the x coefficient uh-oh, spelled that wrong. Must come first. Oh my goodness, I'm having trouble spelling, y'all. First, in both equations. Okay, so the x must come first in both equations. So if we look at example number 1, our x comes first in both equations, so then we're just going to set up the matrix. Okay, the first row is the first coefficient is the first equation. So remember, if there's a variable that doesn't have a a number in front of it, we put a 1 there. Okay? So now, the first row is the first equation. So the coefficient for x is 3. The coefficient for y is -1. And then your 5. Okay? The second row is the second equation. So the coefficient for x is 2, the coefficient for y is 1, and then your 15, whatever it equals. Now, we're going to put that in the calculator like you learned. And okay, so we're going to put it in the calculator like you learned. Now I'm just going to do it and show you what I get. Okay, so when I put it in the calculator, this is what I got. So we're going to write that down. 1001 and then 47. And so remember, your answer is the last column. So the last column is your answer as long as it is in 1001. This is my answer. So the first is your x and the bottom is your y. So we're going to make that as our solution. So our solution to this problem is 4, 7. Okay? Now let's go on to question number 2. If we look at a question number 2, remember the x coefficient must come first in both equations. So if we look, is x coming first in both of my equations? Well, if we look at the second one, y comes first. So we have to rewrite it as x coming first. So we're just going to write the first equation like it is. So we have x plus 2y equals 1. And now we're going to rewrite the second one. Okay, remember x has to come first. So x is positive, so we're going to keep it positive. The 4y is positive, so we're going to make it positive. So plus 4y equals, and then 2. Now that x is first in both of our equations, now we're just going to set up our matrix. Remember to put a 1 in front of any variable that doesn't have a letter. I mean a number. Ooh, I'm messing up today. And now let's set our matrix up. So our first row is our first equation. So it's 1, 2, and then whatever it equals, which is 1. And then we're going to put our second, which is 2, 4, and 2. Then we put it in the calculator. Okay, so I'm going to put it in the calculator. And this is what I got. So when I put it in the calculator, I got 121 on the top, and then 0, 0, 0 on the bottom. Remember from yesterday, our special case. If it's all zeros at the bottom, then our answer is infinitely many solutions. Okay? So the bottom row is all zeros. So if the bottom row is all zeros, our answer is infinitely many solutions. Okay? So if you have zeros all at the bottom, our answer is infinitely many solutions. Okay, and let's look at our last example. Our last example, again, we have to make sure the x comes first in both the equations. Well, it doesn't come first in the second one, so we have to rewrite it. We keep the first one the same. And then we rewrite the second one. It's 2x plus 3y equals 12, because both the 2x and the 3y are positive. So now we're going to have to make our matrix. So the first row is our first set. So it's 2, 3, and 10. Remember, you're just pulling out the numbers. And then the bottom one is 2, 3, and 12. So now we're going to put it in the calculator. And when I put it in the calculator, let me do this real quick. When I put it in the calculator, this is what I get. I get 1, 1.5, 0, and then 0, 0, 1. Remember from yesterday, our special case, or today, our special case, if it's not 1, 0, 0, 1, then it has to be either infinitely many or no solution. Well, if we look at the bottom row is 0, 0, 1. And if the bottom row is 0, 0, 1, it's always no solution. Okay? So if the bottom row is 0, 0, 1, then it's no solution. Okay? Okay, so I need you to write your 3 test questions. Okay, write your 3 test questions over here that we would potentially add from what you just learned. And then I need you to write your sentence. It must be 2 to 3 sentences, okay? And you can start with, I have learned. I have discovered. Or, what's another one I could use?
What?
I have learned, I have discovered.
I now understand.
I now understand. Woo.
Hi class, this is Miss Granado. And Miss Mayweather.
They just laughed the whole time I'm doing this.
You'll be laughing too in a second when you see why we're laughing.
All right, well, make sure that you do your 3 test questions and you write your summary, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful night.
Bye.
Adios.